Chapter 5. Hedgehog Help. Rachel and Kirsty looked at each other in alarm. Fluffy seemed scared, too. The goblins were right on their trail again. "They're coming towards us," Rachel whispered as the goblins' voices got louder. "Don't worry," Fern said, smiling. She didn't even seem nervous. "My sisters will send help quickly." Just then, Rachel spotted a line of golden sparkles twinkling towards them through the fruit trees. "What's that?" she whispered. "Is it goblin magic?" Kirsty asked. Fern shook her head. "They're fireflies. My sister must have sent them to show us the way back to the pot." Suddenly there was another shout from inside the maze. "Look, what are those lights over there?" "Oh no, the goblins have spotted the fireflies," Kirsty gasped. "Quick, Fluffy," Fern said, and they all climbed onto the squirrel's back again. "Follow the fireflies." The golden specks were dancing away from the trees. Fluffy scampered after them just as the goblins dashed out of the maze. "Where's that fairy?" one of them shouted, and then he pointed to Fern. "Stop that squirrel! Come back here!" the other one roared as Fluffy ran off. Rachel, Kirsty, and Fern clung to Fluffy's fur as the squirrel zigzagged back and forth to get away from the goblins. Fluffy scrambled up the trunk of the nearest tree, and he was just about to jump across to the next one when someone called out to them from below. "Hello?" "Who's that?" Rachel asked. She, Kirsty, and Fern peered down to the ground. There was a hedgehog standing at the foot of the apple tree. "Hello!" he hollered out again. "The animals in the garden have heard that you're in trouble. We'd like to help." "Thank you," Fern called, and then she gasped as the two goblins appeared among the trees. "Where'd that squirrel go?" one of them yelled. Quickly, Fluffy leapt across to the next apple tree. The goblins roared with anger and dashed forward. At that very moment, the hedgehog curled himself into a ball and rolled right into their path. Rachel thought it looked a lot like a big, prickly soccer ball. "Ow!" both the goblins howled. "My toes!" Rachel and Kirsty couldn't help laughing as the goblins jumped around holding their feet. "Hooray for Hedgehog!" the girls shouted. As Fluffy jumped from one fruit tree to the next, the firefly lights behind them began to go out. "Hey, who turned out the lights?" wailed one of the goblins, still rubbing his toes. "Which way are we supposed to go?" "Well, how should I know?" snapped the other goblin. Their voices were getting fainter now as Fluffy hurried on. "Thank you, fireflies," called Fern, waving to the last few specks of light. "We need to find our way to the orchard wall from here. We can't be far from the pot now." "Well, if I were human size, I could probably figure out which way to go," Kirsty said, "but everything looks so big and, unfamiliar." "But if we go back to our normal sizes, the goblins will surely spot us," Rachel said. "I can help you," came a small voice that whispered. A fawn was standing at the bottom of the tree. Her golden brown coat was short and silky, and she stared up at them with big brown eyes. "You mean you can show us the way?" Kirsty asked. "Yes, I can." The deer nodded and twitched her little tail. "I can show you a shortcut." She trotted off through the trees on her long legs. Fluffy followed her, leaping from branch to branch above the little deer's head. Rachel was so excited she could hardly even breathe. She was riding on a squirrel's back, being shown the way to a pot at the end of the rainbow by a fawn. A few moments later, they reached the brick wall that ran around the outside of the orchard. Fluffy leapt up onto the top of the wall, and Rachel and Kirsty looked eagerly ahead of them. On the other side of the wall was a meadow, and beyond that was a patch of woods. "Look!" Rachel shouted. "That's where the pot is." The next chapter, Chapter 6, Flying High.